Highly suggest you do so. Definitely worth it. Another movie I got to stop and check out in theaters was Freakier Friday. This is the new movie with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, the sequel to Freaky Friday. And man, this is great. I was surprised how much they nailed the landing on coming back to the sequel. I was a little unsure because Freaky Friday I had always kind of felt like was a good movie. It was fine, but like it's kind of like one of those ones where I kept on checking my phone, I zoned out, I zoned back in, and I never like went back to seriously watch all the way through. I mean, I've seen it all the way through, but like I said, not paying attention. But this movie, this does a really good job of telling a different version of it and kind of updating it. And all these actresses do such a good job. I mean, obviously Lindsay Lohan, we welcome her back with open arms. Everything that she's been through in her life, I really love seeing her come back and really just continue making a name for herself and just show why we all loved her in the first place. Everything from early on, from Parent Trap up to Freaky Friday, and then just to make it, and then coming out with Freakier Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis, it's just great. We got a couple additions in Sophia Hammonds, who does a really good job as being playing Lily Reyes, who's the daughter of Manny Jacinto's, Eric Reyes. Another great addition. I love Manny Jacinto, whether it's from The Good Place or it's from what was the Star Wars one? It was the every time I need to remember something, I can't remember it, and that's just the way that my life goes, baby. I forgot he's in Top Gun Maverick as well, but that's not what we're thinking of. We're thinking of The Acolyte. The Acolyte. One of the hidden gems from this movie. Such a strong performance, and in this just kind of goes to show how strong a performance. I really want him in a lot more projects. Who else do we get? We get Harper Coleman, played by Julia Butters. She's the daughter of Lindsay Lohan's Anna Coleman. Jamie Lee Curtis is Tessa Coleman's granddaughter. And she, between Lily and Harper, Julia and Sophia, they do a really good job of basically taking in over the co-leads and playing, Lindsay and Jamie in these younger bodies and what they do. And additionally, Lindsay and Jamie Lee Curtis, they go for it as like these younger girls, these teenagers in the bodies of these adult women and what you would do. And they do a lot of what we assume we would do, which is like just taking advantage of being an adult and going doing the things you want and just not letting anybody tell you no and just having a happy life. And I think they hit the nail just perfectly. We get the return of Chad Michael Murray's Jake, which is he does a really good job of just kind of like pivoting into this kind of like this simp role a little bit. Obviously we all love him. He goes on the screen and it's just Chad Michael Murray again. You can almost borderline feel the girls wooing over him. Mark Harmon coming back as Ryan, the husband of Tess Coleman. And just a lot of good performances, a lot of good additions to this. I really like the addition. I like the new characters. I really enjoyed it. Just kind of makes you wonder if they're going to do like a Freakiest Friday, maybe just kind of like really nail down a trio of movies, and we'll be happy that way. And I would be all for it the way that this movie left off. Which until what led me to the next movie, Freaky Friday. I had to give Freaky Friday a run through back again. Just coming off of Freakier Friday and how impressed I was. I really just kind of needed to kind of jump back in this and familiarize myself. And I'm glad that I did, because there's a lot of plot points that I had forgotten overall that lend itself to this movie. And if you I really suggest, if you haven't seen it, watch Freaky Friday again, because there's such a bunch of small little nuances and a bunch of like almost inside jokes and things like that kind of happen that do play into the second movie. They're really good about touching back onto that. And they do such a good job of just kind of intermingling both movies. I completely forgot that Lindsay Lohan's character had a younger brother, even though it's a big point of knowledge in the first movie, because he kind of comes back in the second movie, but sort of like not in a way that they kind of announce it. It's almost like you just kind of need to know, and it completely was over the top of my head. And there's a few different things, obviously the songs and all that kind of they come back, and a few other things, but I highly suggest watching Freakier Friday again. Freaky Friday, if you haven't watched watch Freakier Friday if you haven't watched Freaky Friday, but run it back because you kind of need to.